Hi, I'm Jody Daly, and this is Let's Talk, where consumers like you talk about everyday topics. Well, today we're talking about my favorite time of the year, and that's summer. And I don't know about you, but I am so glad that those dreary months are behind us, and I'm ready to spend some time outdoors. With me today are three people who are here to get us started in finding out how we can get the most out of our summer without overdoing it, if that is possible at all. First, Amber Hirsch, our
Hi, Jody.
fitness expert. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. And then we have Topiler, and you are a nutritionist.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
And finally, at the end, our skin and beauty expert, Morgan Page. How you doing, Morgan?
Good, thank you.
And obviously, you've never seen the sun in your entire life.
No, not really.
Well, Amber, let me start with you.
Sure.
Amber, you are a fitness director at Locale Barre, and that's local B-A-R-R-E, not
That's right.
B-A-R, where you would find me.
Exactly.
So tell us about what Barre is.
Right. So Barre comes from ballet bar.
And you started as a dancer, right?
I did. Yeah. So it comes from ballet bar, and we use the ballet bar throughout class to do strength training. We focus on the core, we do stretching. So it's really a total body experience based on dance.
And you do this all year round, right?
Yes, all year round, no excuses. Yes.
I guess you're big on consistency.
I'm very big on consistency. It becomes a habit, and then you don't think about it.
That's great, great. And now, Ina, you are a nutritionist.
Yes.
So you got to that for very personal reasons, didn't you?
Yes, I started out in finance, and when I was in my early 20s, I got sick and I had a lot of health issues that were unfortunately not really helped with traditional approaches. And so I ended up seeing a nutritionist myself, and it completely changed my life. And so I thought, if I needed it, there's so many other people that can use the help too, and that's how I changed careers.
Fantastic. And Morgan, you are our skin and beauty expert. I went out in the sun a lot growing up. We used things like baby oil instead. That must make you cringe.
Yes, absolutely. I make sure you use lots of protection.
You know, Amber, we say that beach bodies aren't made in the summertime.
Yes.
And you said earlier consistency.
Totally.
Talk to me a bit about going from winter on the elliptical to 5-mile run in August. You just don't do it overnight.
No, you don't. And you have to take some things into consideration. One, being inside is very controlled. Most people tend to run on a flat when they're on the incline. Conditions are very comfortable. And when you get outside, you're going up and down. Even if you're not thinking you're going up on hills, there's definitely inclines within those trails that you're going to be running. You've got the heat coming down.
And terrain, the terrain's different.
And the terrain, exactly, underneath your feet, just how you're pushing off, as opposed to the treadmill is pavement. So there's a lot of things that sneak up on you when you get outside.
So tell me how we can think about going from a controlled environment into summer heat and different terrains, and how do we prep for it?
Well, there's really two ways to go about it. You should be cross-training is one of the best things to do.
Okay, cross-training, define, please.
Well, if you're talking about running specifically, we have a lot of people that run and they get injured or they do this and that and they're not ready to take themselves out on the terrain. But if they're strong and they strengthen the muscles around their joints and they do something like bar, they're going to feel much better when they come off that treadmill and decide to go out on whatever new terrain they're going to be on.
Now, what about guys who are doing like weights inside?
Totally.
And then in the summertime, they're outside, they're moving rocks and they're bending over and doing, lawn work and things like that. How do you suggest they get trained for that?
Well, what you just described is functional training, right? So a lot of what we do should be functional. I mean, you have men, like you were saying, that pick up heavy things and then need to go outside and pick up heavy things. So really, it's as simple as you stated. Same thing with women carrying babies. You need to keep your upper body strong. You need to keep your back strong. So functional training is a huge thing. I'm a big believer in it. It's going to help you do whatever you need to do to better your everyday activity and your lifestyle.
One last question, and it's because I see this all summer long. People's outfits.
Yeah.
You go from winter to summer and you're in that controlled environment and nobody sees you and all of a sudden you're outside. Besides just fashion, what is functional for people to be wearing in the summertime?
It depends a little bit on the workout you're about to do, right? So if you're going to be outside under the sun, there's a lot of great materials that will wick and be breathing but still cover your skin, because I know obviously that's a really important concern when we're outside and under the sun all day. So things that are breathable when you're outside are a major concern.
My next question about hydration in the summertime, and this is to all of you. it's not, I mean, I don't want to like drink a big pink bottle of something. What is the best for hydration in the summertime?
We want to make sure that we replace our electrolytes because that's what we're losing when we're
What are
sweating.
electrolytes?
Electrolytes are sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium.
Wait, let me just say it. Sodium, calcium, potassium, magnesium. I was listening.
Great. And so the best way to replace them is through drinks that naturally contain them. We want to be careful, though, with traditional sports drinks,
Right.
just because they contain artificial sweeteners, colorings,
Or
and
too
other
much
preservatives.
sugar. I mean,
or
definitely
sugar,
too much
yes,
sugar.
exactly. So something like coconut water is wonderful. You can find that in lots of stores, and there's not as much sugar, and it contains a lot of electrolytes.
Okay, and there's plain old water
Yeah, of
because we
course.
know
For your
for
skin.
skin, it's like the absolute best thing you can possibly do. I like to go out in the sun and just get a little color. What do you say to those people?
Just a little color.
Little color. No sunscreen, just a little
Yes.
color.
So you want to make sure you have an SPF broad spectrum form of sunscreen that has titanium dioxide and zinc in it.
Okay.
30 SPF or above. Make sure if you're going to wear makeup, you always want to apply that under makeup as well.
And you
can do
moisturizers too that have SPF in it. don't
correct,
you?
yeah. So you would use a moisturizer with an SPF 30 or above. If you wanted to try, if you would do 50 to 100, which only protects your skin 1 to 2% more than
Yeah.
SPF 30, and that would be more for like if you have skin damage or any type of medications you're on.
Now, also, I can't wear that. There's no hairspray that I can wear on my. So hats, I guess, are good.
Oh yeah, you want to wear hats, sunglasses. You want to cover everything up as much as you can. Even on your arms, you want to sunscreen everything.
I wish that I had known about sunscreen every day, day in and day out, before I had gotten to this point. But it's even in the wintertime, I hear you're supposed to wear sunscreen.
Always.
What
You wanna be
about if
safe.
it's cloudy?
That's like the worst time, 10 to 2. The UV rays are the worst time at 10 to 2 when it's cloudy.
Even when it's cloudy?
Yes, you can get really bad sunburn at that time.
Wow. And especially, and if you're at the beach or if you're by water, by the pool, it's almost like having one of those silver reflectors in your face
Exactly.
too, isn't it? Yeah. And one other thing, when it's hazy and humid out, I'll put on makeup in the morning, I'll go out, and by the time I get to my job, it is melted right off.
Yes.
Any thoughts on how to keep that fresh look without having a lot of pancake makeup on or a lot of powder?
So you can buy like a lightweight moisturizing cream that is SPF 30 and above. You would apply that first, and then you can put a primer on to keep the makeup in place.
Is it tinted? Is it?
You can get a tinted one, which would be nice for coloring. Actually, that would be better than sitting in the sun, Even a self-tanning lotion, right? You were saying that you used that earlier.
Yeah.
It's better than sitting in the sun as well.
And you were saying earlier, no tanning beds, no matter what.
No tanning beds.
Yeah.
No.
See, we talked before the show, which is really nice. And last but not least, hair. How's your hair in the summer?
Horrible.
How's your hair in the summer?
Horrible.
How's your hair in the? Never mind. I'm not even gonna ask you. What do you do?
Personally, I like to wear my hair in a bun a lot, but if you want to wear it down, you can use any form of products that are anti-frizz, climate protection, heat protectant, seal it up with a serum,
Okay.
which could, again, anti-frizz.
Or wear it in a ponytail.
Or wear it in a ponytail.
There you go. That's
Wet
probably.
and flip it up. And if you want to wear curls, you can
Well,
do
I don't think
ringlets.
you have any choice, do you?
Yeah.
In the
No.
summertime.
Also,
Yeah,
actually,
summertime's got to be curls.
and actually a flat iron sometimes too, but you just want to make sure, if you really want to straighten it, if you have curly hair, you would just make sure you use a heat protectant and then the flat iron.
When we come back, I promise you we are going to talk about a few other things, and Ina is going to give us some do's and don'ts for summer cooking and how to get the most out of that much anticipated summer produce. I can't wait. Oh, tomatoes and corn. Yum. We'll talk to you in a minute.
Who makes store brands? We hired a famous detective to find out. He snooped here, and he snooped there. And what he found was, in many cases, the same company that made the national brand made the store brands too. Wow! Then he found that many store brands are made by manufacturers who specialize in store brands, experts in working with retailers to give you great products at great savings. Wow! But most important, he found that store brands have to meet the same government standards as the national brands. What's the difference between store brands and national brands? Usually, only the price. Store brands. Be your own detective.
Welcome back. We are talking with Amber Hirsch, Ina Topiler, and Morgan Page about the summer that you're going to have, the best summer of your life. So Ina, you are a clinical nutritionist?
Yes, correct.
Okay, good. Then I can ask you food questions.
Absolutely.
Okay, the first one is, I hate having a hot kitchen in the summertime, which means I don't want to cook, not on in the oven anyway. Any things that I can do to still have healthy, nutritious meals without ordering in?
Yes, absolutely. So there's so many fruits and vegetables that are in season in the summer. So I love doing just big, huge salads. I mean, you can buy lots of vegetables, chop them all up, and then, have some chicken or turkey, which, you can easily grill outside if you have outdoor space. I also really like doing stir fries. It really only takes about 5 to 10 minutes. You don't need to turn the oven on. You just do it on the stovetop. So just a little bit of meat. You can use chicken, or you can use lean ground beef or ground turkey. Stir fry with some vegetables. You can use a little soy sauce.
Talk about the oils for stir fry, because I know there's something about olive oil or canola oil, or what is it about the oils for stir frying?
So there's something called a smoke point. So when you heat oil to a certain temperature, it starts to smoke, and it's different for different oils. So olive oil actually has one of the lower smoke points. It's only 325 degrees, which means that if you heat olive oil above that, then it actually starts to smoke, and that can become a carcinogen. And if you think about a stovetop, even on a low flame, when that flame hits the steel of the pan, it's going to heat up, and it's going to be more than 325 degrees. So oils that have a higher smoke point are going to be much better. Coconut oil, canola oil, grapeseed oil, avocado oil. These are one of the best.
And you can get any of those at the supermarket, right?
Absolutely.
These are not specialty things.
Not at all.
Now, you were talking about carcinogens and grilling. What is the myth or the fact about grilling outside and it not being healthy?
First of all, you want to be careful with the oils you put on the meat before you grill. So you want to use some of the better oils. But if you are grilling until the point that the meat is actually black, char grilling it, that the browning of the meat is what creates the chemicals.
Oh, but we like the crisscross on there. That's what you're looking for.
A little bit is okay, but you want to try to keep that to a minimum. You want to make sure there's not a lot of black on there. And, if something gets burnt, you can just very easily just, cut those little pieces off, and it's going to be much safer.
And my last question a bit about summer and outside, and we all go to barbecues.
Yeah.
How long can food sit out, and what is better not to have sit out?
That is such a good question.
Thank you. I asked a good question.
Because it's often really hot out there.
Yeah.
The sun's beating on the food, and bacteria multiplies, and after 4 hours, there is a lot more bacteria in any food that's left out when it's not refrigerated. So you want to be careful with things that contain mayonnaise and dairy products. So sour cream, cheeses, and oftentimes at barbecues you'll have a pasta salad that is going to be made with mayonnaise or made with something that contains dairy in it. So you really want to be careful, because you can get quite sick if it's left out and you eat it.
Yeah. Now, do you guys in the summer, do you ever shop at like the farm stands, or what is the best thing to do? What about, local fresh produce? Where do you buy it? Or I mean, it's probably different for everybody all over the country, but I know here on the East Coast, I look forward to those farm stands opening up.
Definitely.
What do you have to say about local or organic?
Well, of course, in an ideal situation, local and organic is amazing. Oftentimes, that's not always available, so if we have to choose, I think that local is better, because that food is going to be super fresh. And I always encourage my clients to, when they go to the farmers markets, to actually strike up a conversation and talk to the local farmers, because oftentimes what happens is they may not be certified organic, but they're very aware of what they use, and they use a lot of natural things versus a lot of the pesticides. So it's almost as if it is organic, and it's super fresh as well.
Well, I'm actually really looking forward to summer now, and air conditioning. I do have to say that. So I just have a question. We have 3 great experts here today. What have you guys learned? I'm going to start with you, Morgan. What little tip will you take away from today?
Well, I always wonder at barbecues how long you could actually keep the food out. So that's a really good note to mentally check off.
Yes, and you'll know and you'll be able to say to your host, excuse me.
Yes. It's done.
It's been 4 hours. Bring it in.
I'm timing it. And I have to dress cute as well, for summer.
Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt.
I think that'll be a big problem for you. Anyway, Ina, how about you? What are you going to take out?
Well, just a really good reminder about sunscreen. I know we all know about sunscreen, but as much as you know about it, it's always good to just hear it again from an expert that you have to wear it all the time.
And somebody, I don't know if it was you or somebody else said to me one time, your skin is your biggest organ, and you need to take care of your skin just like you would take care of your heart and your kidneys and your liver and all of those other important organs. And what about you, Amber? What are you taking away?
Well, I'm with Ina on the reminder of the sunscreen. I mean, I'm pretty good about it putting on my face. It's in my moisturizer, but I'm not so great in the summer to remember to put it on my arms. So hearing that over and over again is certainly helpful. And I've always personally wondered about what is better when given the choice between organic and local, and thought local was the right answer, and glad to see that's been confirmed.
And I just want to say thank you so much, guys. This has been really great. I've appreciated all of your insight. And I just want to say to everybody out there, for more information on what you've seen on today's show, please visit the Store Brands USA channel here on YouTube, or go to storebrandsusa.com for shopping information, recipe ideas, and a lot more. And I got to tell you, the only thing is sunscreen, and have a really great summer. We'll see you next time for another edition of Let's Talk. This has been fun. Thank you so much.